Oh, that's so nice. So, guys, now we are on YouTube too. So, hello, people from YouTube. My name is Gabrielle, and I guide this immersion here. Today, we are going to talk about habits during traveling. And let me explain a little bit how TNT works, if you don't know about. So, TNT is a language platform for beginners, intermediate, and advanced speakers. All immersion meetings are not regular classes, so I'm not a teacher, I'm a student. And this is a place to practice English in a real environment, right? So, we have a topic to discuss about, we have some questions to guide the conversation, and we have some rules to follow to make this moment more enjoyable. The first rule is to be respectful. The second rule is don't be afraid to make mistakes. So here remember that we are in a safe place, so feel free to make mistakes. If you don't know some word in English, please tell it in Portuguese, no problem. And the third rule is to have fun. Okay, guys? Let's get started. I'd like to invite you, Genemis, to introduce yourself to us, please.
Moment, please. I have problem with my computer. I'm James. I'm software engineer. Um, I am 35 years old. I have two kids. I'm married. My free time, I like music, play music, play with my kids, go out with my wife, read my technical books. I like reading technical books. Actually, I started reading technical books in English for improve my skills, improve my vocabulary. And that's it, guys.
That's so interesting. And what one thing that you like most on your work?
Repeat, please.
Can you cite something that you like most on your work in a profession? Sorry.
Isso tá travando para mim. Acho que é o meu computador aqui.
Can you cite one thing that you like most, that you really like about your work?
I like in free time. I like to stay with my kids, spend time with my family. Travel. I like travel. I like stay home with my kids and play because I have three little kids and this time is special for they and for me, and that's it.
So, hello, Mel. Nice to see you here. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm happy that I'm able to be here today. This time for me it's now better, and I really liked it.
So nice to see you here. Are you okay today? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay. So can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Sure. I'm Mel Tavares. I'm from São Paulo. I live here. I like to study languages. I intend to work with them in the future as a translator or interpreter. I like to travel. I really like to travel to many destinies, and I intend to travel more too, because nowadays I don't do that very often, but I really like it. And that's it. I love animals and I love eating. That's it.
So nice, Mel. Thank you. And today we are going to talk about habits during traveling. So you are welcome. Pedro, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Hello, guys. My name is Pedro. I am 25 years old. I'm from Belo Horizonte. I work as a UX designer, and I am in the Talk and Talk like for 3 months for improve my conversation skills in English.
So, and one thing that you like most about your work, can you cite something?
Yes. I think the thing I most like my work is about like make some research, like understand the problem of the users and get the real problem with I can solve with the team.
That's so nice. So, guys, as you know, my name is Gabriele, but you can call me Gabi. I'm 32 years old. I was born in Pelotas, a city in the south of Rio Grande do Sul. But 3 years and a half ago, I came to Rio, and now I live in this beautiful city. I'm a food engineer and I work as a science entrepreneur, so I have my own business focused on ingredient solutions for the plant based market. On my free time, I really like to stay with my friends, stay with my boyfriend, my family, and unfortunately, my family don't live here on Rio, but sometimes they can. They visit me, so it's nice to have a moment with them. And I really like to go out with them to visit new place here, visit landscapes. We have a lot of places, beautiful places here, and I really like to study new things and learn a lot, and to stay at home watching movies and series and reality shows, things like that. So I'm here on Talk to Talk since, as I mentioned it before, as a host since last year, at the beginning of the last year. So guys, let's move on to the question number 2, the first question about the topic that we intend to discuss about. Mel, what the first thing you do when you arrived at the new destination?
Usually, I go to the hotel or to the place that I'm staying so I can kind of see it if that's a hotel that I've never been before, like to see how that works, how it is, if that's great or not. And usually just let the things there, the suitcase, if I'm not wrong, and then just leave to discover the new place, the new destination, and to just to get out of there, go out to discover new places and great points to be at supermarkets too. Like if I need to buy some things, I know where I can go to buy it, and that's it. To find out new restaurants, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, are you the person that when you arrive in a new place, we don't um, you don't have the time to relax and to take a nap after the travel. You prefer to go out and explore the new place, right?
Yeah, like sometimes it's necessary, like we're so lazy to do something. But I think like I'm already there, so I'm not going to spend my time so much like sleeping at the hotel. I'm going to discover the place, and I'd rather do that instead of just being there.
All right, I'm like you, and I do the same. I prefer to discover the new places, and after I try to relax and to recover myself. It's not a problem for me. And how about you, Pedro?
So no, usually I choose some destination that I knew some people that live there. So I like to keep it in constant, like what the time is going on, like sending messages if it comes like some delay or other issues. But when I arrive to my destination, I like to talk with the people that I know, and or get a Uber to go to the homes that I will stay, or I'll call them like to pick me up. But I think the first time is like to take all the baggages in the place that you will stay, and after go out.
All right. And you, Genesis? Yeah.
Sorry. Question number 2.
Yes. Question number 2.
Okay. In my case, I search I search the destination on Google or or mechanisms. And I try visit the mainly tourist point because it is more easy, and is more easy, and is more accessible. But when I have a friend in this place, my friend is my fount for information, because it exists a lot of places very very good, and it's hardly access, and the native person know this place, and it is more easy for the travel.
All right. And Jenny, you mentioned that you prefer to discover the touristic place and new country or a new city that you visit. When you arrive in this place, do you prefer explore this place by yourself, or try to contact a friend or a person that live in this place to go with you?
Prefer contact before, because I have three kids, and it's is expensive movie for the other place, and in some case the place is closed for tourists, and it's embarrassing.
Okay. So, guys, let's move on to the question number 3. Let me see. Pedro, do you prefer to follow a strict itinerary or be more spontaneous?
So when I choose some destination, I like to make a script, like the place that I would like to visit, and but I think it's essential when you come to a new city, a new culture, you just follow like more spontaneous things. I remember when I went to Fortaleza and last year, I planned some things to do, but have some day my friend cannot enjoy with me the day, and I pick a place like I knew about that because I visited earlier, but I come to there and I found a new spot there. Like I can play. I was that wasn't playing my script, but I think it's essential like to visit a new place, like uh, understand the culture, understand the culinary. I think it is very good too.
I really agree with you. I I prefer to have itinerary, especially when you go in a city that we have. It's not so easy to to go to different place in the same region, because the geographic don't permit it to do it. Like for example, at the end of this month, I will visit Florianopolis, and it's not easy to stay, for example, at the south of the city and go to the north when you have just 4 days to visit all city. So you need to plan what is the best place to stay in and decide to explore one region or another. But one thing that you mentioned about that, try to see how people live in this place, or to follow the culture. I think this is so amazing, because people that are living there have a lot of information to provide to you and to suggest best place to visit than the traditional place that we can search on the internet, for example. Now, what what do you prefer?
Well, I think it depends of the situation. In that case that you mentioned, like you have just a few days at each region to stay. So I think in that case it's better to have itinerary more planned and to know exactly what you will do, and that's it. But if you have if you stay 1 week in one specific place, I think it's great to have some ideas, a few ideas about what you want to do, and have kind of a itinerary for the first days. But then I think it's great to let some days for you to just walk around the city, the place, and to discover new things without rush, without being being in a rush about it, and to go somewhere. No, you're just feeling the vibe of the place and discovering new things. And I think it's great. And I totally agree what Peter and you said now about the talking to someone who lives in that place, because I think it's great. They have a different view of the city that you don't have. So now they can tell you some advices. They can give you some advices about it, and I think it's great. For example, if that's a touristic point, they can tell you a day that it's less crowded. So now then you can enjoy more the place and the view, and also now you have this information and you can get a better experience there. So I totally agree with it.
Yeah, it's like when a person visits Rio and plan to visit the Christ the Redeemer. So one secret to visit this place is just to buy the ticket when you stay when you arrive here, because if you buy a ticket and the weather not collaborate with the view, it's not amazing to go there and don't see the Christ the Redeemer, right? So this is the goal of this place. And if some friend asks me to create a itinerary to visit Rio, I will put a lot of things that not at the traditional place that people visit, because here we have a lot of different things, right? But I totally agree with you. It depends of the number of the days that the people have to explore the new place. Yeah, depends of the style of the travel and the time that the person had to explore the place.
Yeah, and just one more point about what Junimi said, like about the amount of people, because if there are many people together, if that's a group of people, of course that's more difficult to plan things too. You have to plan everything because it's not easy. Everyone to go around, everybody can get lost from each other. So in that case too, I see it, and I think it's important to have ideas from of what you want to do in that day, and to have some plans. I'd say that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And Genesis, you mentioned it before that you have three kids, and I can imagine about the your answer for question number three, but I'd like to hear you. Do you prefer to have a strict itinerary or be more spontaneous in a trip?
Um, it's hard. I have an idea of what I want to visit, but I don't do it strictly. Plans always change with my necessities, but it's not strict. It's conforms my necessity, my, ah, eu não sei falar em português, mas muda conforme as nossas necessidades, né?
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, let's move on to the question number four. Let me see. Mel, what are your go-to travel snacks and drinks?
I think it depends, but usually like going on a go to travel. I don't know, some snacks like some cookies, some salgadinho maybe. I think like because you can if you are going to travel by bus, for example, that it takes a whole night to get to the place, for example, there are these points where you can buy food, of course, and they are nice, but sometimes it's too expensive, you know. I think it's better to bring some food with you that you know that's better for you, for your oh my god, I still see carteira. I forgot carteira. Wallet, for your wallet. Maybe that's a great thing to do. To bring some food, some soda, if you like, some water, because I know a yeah, a few bus doesn't have water in it for you to take. So it's very nice to bring some bottles, a few bottles of water, and that's it. Something that can really maintain you satisfied, you know, not wanting to buy things because you can, but that will be a little awful to your wallet, maybe.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't like this place that we can find at the when the bus is stopped and you have, for example, 30 minutes to go to the bathroom and to take something in the grocery. But I don't know, as you mentioned it, this place is so expensive, so I prefer to to buy something before to the trip and carry with me. And my go-to travel snacks include, for example, cookies, nuts, and yeah, maybe cereal bars. I'm not a fan, but for this occasion, it's a on the go food, so it's practical to have this in with us. But I try to avoid things that I need to refrigerator. So things that I can consume with the temperature that are in the I don't know how to say temperatura ambiente. So it's like that. So I prefer this type of foods. And you, Pedro?
So when I travel, I have a dilemma with myself, like to keep money, spend money as little as possible. Like tickets is very expensive, so I want to keep my money for other things, just like to eat in an airport because it's so much expensive. So I bring with myself like some nuts too, like fit cookies and water, of course, because it's nutritive and you can uh, it's more nutritive and you make you're not hungry when you eat that things. And but in the local, when I visit it too, I like to explore like the local place to try new foods because it's more. I think it's the experience new because you frequent like the people that locals usually go. And but I try to one uh, like have once meal of the on the trip like more expensive to have another experience too. Not just that cheaper more.
Thank you for sharing. One thing that people from my hometown do when they have a trip in the by car, it's to leave the chimarrão. It's like a tea, but it's not a tea. It's difficult to explain it in another language. But people from Rio Grande do Sul usually go out with this type of drink every place. So it's common when we have travel by car, we spend all the travel drinking chimarrão until and it's a problem because we needed to a bathroom to to liberate all the liquids that you consume. But people usually do it. And how about you, Genemis? What's your go-to travel snacks or drinks?
Um, I like try local foods, but nothing too overdone like as Mexican spice. They are too spice. I dislike. But I like the tacacá from Pará. It's very good. A little bit. It's very good. I like food. Nordestian food is very good. It's the best of the world. Um, I like I like it. I like it chimarrão, but I like the barbecue. Rio Grande do Sul is very good. It's very different for here, and it's very good. Uh, and that's it.
But during the travel, when you are traveling to another place, in this period that you are traveling, what you prefer to consume? What type of food do you prefer to consume, or do you don't consume nothing during the travel?
No, I like consuming no normal food, rice, beans, beef. That's it. But I try always prove local foods. My kids dislike, but I and my wife love it. Or foods, new experience.
Okay. So, guys, the question number 5 is that what kind of souvenirs do you usually bring back from your trips? Let me see, Pedro.
To be honest, I'm not the kind of person like to buy a lot of souvenirs during my trips, but I know my parents and friends like to receive something like they remember the place. But if I have to choose any souvenir to buy, I always looking for something like some clothes more local, or some piece of art like a sculpture or something like that. I think it's more meaningful than magnet of fridge or postcards. I tend to skip that type of souvenirs.
Yeah, you mentioned it about fridge magnets, and I really like to bring back with me and to stay to just to put on my home to have with me, because it's a way to look at this in the simple souvenir and remember about the trip. But it's not a thing that I give to another person. All right, I prefer to buy another thing, for example, a typical food, a traditional food, or a thing that I can transportate with me when I return to my point of origin. And maybe a mug. I think it's because I have some friends that have a mug collection, and this is good. And normally my friends really like when I give them something like that. And yeah, I can think about the mugs and about food that are typical, or maybe for my friends, my female friends, that they really prefer to receive, for example, an accessory, one thing that are so typical for the region that I visited. Um, for example, here in Rio, maybe a bikini or something like that remember the Rio. It's a good gift to give. Yeah, but I think it's a little bit difficult to choose a good thing for the other person. But I try to be economic. I don't spend too much money in these type of things. And you, Janice?
I like keychains, chaveiro. That remind me of the place and take photos to remember the place for my kids. But I don't usually buy souvenirs for friends and the family because that would be so expensive and that would make the trip unfeasible.
Yeah. And you, Mel?
Now I was thinking about it, and I'm more like Ginemis. In that case, for me, sometimes I can buy something different. Like last time, I bought a bracelet for me, like a different one, a different thing, like for me. But for the others, I think it's difficult to choose something to give to them. So I appeal to the keychains too, because I think it's more everybody will like it and will have with them all the time in the keys with the keys. And I think that's great. I don't think like about the mug, it's great too, but for me, I don't think like buying each mug for each person, a mug for each person. I think it would be so expensive. And another thing, I would have so many space to transportate that. So for me, that's not a solution. Just for me, like one different thing for me. And that's it about the let me see, clothes. I think that's a great thing too, but I think it's too personal. Like the person can like if can think it's but it can think it's too big or too small for them. So I'd rather just the keychains, and that's it for me. Not even the fridge magnets. I think it's not my case. I don't really like them. So the keychain is the solution for my problems in that case.
There is some type of souvenirs that it, it's a thing that people usually expect that you bring to them when you go to a specific place. For example, when you go to Portugal or Argentina, people usually expect that you bring to them wine, or, for example, in Argentina, how to say about the name of the candy. I don't know. I forgot the name of about the traditional candies from Argentina. But when you go to Switzerland, people expect that you bring to them chocolates, a lot of them. Maybe in Brazil, there is some regions that you can uh, bring specific things related to food. Yeah, I think food is a good strategy to. It's a good thing to present the other people. But as you mentioned it before, Mel, about the mugs, I don't. I never bring back a mug for everyone. It's like for example, one person asked me to buy a mug or to to present the itself with a mug, and to another one I try to select other things.
That's it. And
So
maybe the candy was alfajor.
yeah, thank you, Alfajor. Thank you.
That's it.
So let's move on to the question number 6. Mm, Genesis, do you have a specific routine for packing and unpacking when you travel?
No, I don't. Packing is always good. Unpacked is too lazy for it. I'd like unpacking, but pack is good because my kids knows we travel. and it's funny, but unpack it is I'm so lazy for unpacking.
I confess that I prefer to packing than unpacking. I hate to unpacking and to organize all the things that the, the, the specific place after the travel. I prefer to packing because it's like how it's when you start to imagine the trip and you are so excited to start the trip, and this is good. But when you arrived and when you arrive at home and and realize that you need to organize anything and put all the clothes to washing, and oh my god, I really hated this part of the trip at the end of the trip. And you, Pedro?
So for packing, I usually make a list, the things that I have to bring with me during the trip. Depending of the situation, I try to pack my things like 1 day or 2 days before the trip. And I most often during the trip put the thing like I most have to use more easyable accesses. Like I have to take that all the time, so I try to make this more accessible. For me, unpacked is more like I try to bring with me less thing as possible. But when I unpacked it, I just bring all my clothes and put in the washing machine. I think it's more easier. But after the clothes are washed and I don't know how to say thickness, but after that we just organizing on my armoire.
I really like the tip that you mentioned about create a list, because I do it every time that I visit a different place. And because if I don't make a list, probably I forgot something. And I prefer to prepare myself and do a list and check out the list when I finish to make my packing. And one strategy that I adopt is that choose clothes that combine itself to don't to avoid to carry a lot of clothes, so and have space to bring something. And so I try to select clothes that I can use in different period of the day. The colors are combining itself, and try to think about the things that I plan to do in another city. Uh, it's not make sense to, for example, to put a high heels in my packet if I don't have an important thing to go, or if I don't go a place that's so, how to say, elegant. So I prefer to carry with me a how to say, one pair of tennis and that. So it's not necessary to have a lot of shoes in my pack. And so try to imagine the places that I will go, make a list, and combine the clothes and shoes itself. And you, Mel?
For me, it's basically everything that you guys mentioned. I think it's important to do list, but in that case, it's difficult for me to do. It's something that I usually don't do, but it's something that I have to change because there are some moments where we are in the trip and then we realize that, oh, I forgot that thing, man. So it's bad when that happens. So making a list can really help, and like to make a list is great. Like some time ago, before the trip, not just like a few days before, like 1 month, because you sometime in another moment when you won't even be thinking about the trip, you will remember, oh, that would be great if I took something. So then you put on the list, and you know that you won't forget anything, because it's not like you take one moment to put everything and you won't forget anything. You will forget something. So it's great to have this time before, so you can really in other moments have to think about it. And I really see it like, for me it's better to pack too. After that, after the trip is gone, after I did everything that I had to do, I just leave it there, and that maybe that can be 1 month on the suitcase, and we'll rest there for the rest of the life. Just kidding, but yeah, it's something that I don't really like to do, to unpack. And talking about what Gabi said, I think it's great, like in that point, to imagine you're already on the trip doing the things. So that's a part that you, while you're packing, you can imagine that. But for me, I don't really like it very much too. Even though it's great because of that, it's not my the thing that I really like, because sometimes we put so many things in there, and the suitcase seems that it's not going to close. There are all that situation, but it's great, this adventure.
One thing that I remember now about specific routine for packing is that to have a group of things that are miniatures. For example, things that you can uh, wash your hair or wash your face. Um, I don't know, perfume and things like that. Because you avoid to leave with you the the real package. It's so full, and it occupy a lot of space in the packing. So, and it's more practical if you have miniatures for all the things that you use for that, say, cleaning. I forgot, bath. Yeah, I think it's that. And for, I don't know, things that you really needed during the travel. Yeah, I prefer to have miniatures.
Yeah, and just one more thing again, sorry to interrupt,
Oh, no problem.
is to do kind of what you said now and what Peter said about the separate things in little bags necessary, like so everything that I know, it's like every cable, the charger of the phone, the earphone, I forgot, ear negócio. So that I know everything that is cable is there, and the other one too. So I think it's great, and to let these things that I know I will need, sure, for sure, in the more accessible, as Peter said. It's great.
Yeah, totally. So, guys, I suggest you to skip the question number 7 and go to the question number 8, because it's an interesting one. Genevieve, what kind of entertainment do you prefer during a long flight or travel rides?
Watch movies. Uh, is good for a long time inactive, and you can study English.
That's so good. And you, Pedro?
So I am a kind of person like even if I'm not a lot of tired, I can't sleep during these travels in the bus and airplanes. I remember I had that trip like I have to stay in the airport like 5 hours and I don't have nothing to do, and I tried to sleep, but I could sleep like if I add like all the time I try to sleep is like 15 minutes, like it's nothing. But if I had the opportunity, I like to read a book or watching some series. But sometimes when I like the travel, before the travel, like stay in the, I don't know how to say rodoviária too, but when I had to stay in this place, I normally I was a little anxious, so I just roll the feed of Instagram, sometimes like that. During the trip, I like to watch a movie or a series.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I have a travel on, when I have a flight or a train travel, I prefer to read or to see a movie or to um, listen a podcast, things that I have more time to appreciate it. But when I have a short travel, I prefer just to check the things on the internet or answer some emails or just to read the news and things like that, or just to check some gossips on social media. Not a gossip for people that I know, but for the whole world. And especially about this time on Olympics. Last yesterday, I I returned to Rio because I passed through 2 days in São Paulo, and during the travel, I'll check if about the games, if the Brazilian have another medal or not, and what about the next games that we will have for today, and read the things about the Olympic Games, all right? So yeah, I think I passed 1 hour just doing this specific thing. And then I try to sleep a little bit or listen to music and things like that. And you, Mel?
Well, in my case, I'm not really great at doing things while I'm in movement. Like if I'm on in if I'm in the car or on, I don't really know. But I don't like doing things, to watch a video, to watch a movie. My brain is just confused because everything is passing by here, but I'm watching something stopped here that is stay here, and my mind cannot, or has so much difficulty to understand what is going on. So in my case, I'd rather to just to put some earphones. It's not, well, some phones, no, ear things, to listen to music, to just relax and to watch the view, even if that's on the on a flight, during a long flight, or train rides, bus rides. In my case, that's what I feel better while doing it. And yeah, podcasts, I think it's more like because I can listen to the songs that it's mainly in other languages, so in English, French, German. In that case, I can understand the words, I can listen to it, can get used to it, to the words. So in that case, I think that helps even on the process of learning, because that's a moment where I could be doing any other thing, but I'm listening to it, I'm in contact with the languages. So in that case, that's what works better for me.
Thank you for sharing, Mel. And guys, unfortunately, the time is running, so you don't have a lot of time to continue this discussion. But relating that Mel mentioned about language, I'd like to ask you the question 14 because I think it's an interesting one to finish this discussion. Uh, Pedro, how do you handle language barriers in foreign countries?
So I didn't have the opportunity to travel abroad, but if I had the opportunity, I think the I think it's easier to like to learn like English is easier for me because I speak a longer time and I know some things. But I think when I have a real situation, I think it's getting harder. But if it is another country that I don't know all of the language, like French, Italy, or everyone, however. So I think he just learned the simple things like how I can get a hotel, how I can get some food. I think it's the easier, but I think like the mimic is usual too because the people can understand like I want that and or why is that and the people mimic something.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to know some words that you can, not just to facilitate the communication, but also to be gentle with the people that you are visiting. So I will do the same as you mentioned. I will try to learn the simple words to have a communication and to be educated with the people that living there. And but nowadays I think it's not a challenge because we have the internet on our hands, so it's easy to break the barriers related to language, you know. So if you don't know how to communicate, for example, in Japanese, you can just to tell the Google translator and then and it do it for you. So it's not a problem. And I remember that I don't have a lot of opportunities to go abroad, but in 2022, I went to Switzerland and I spent 1 week just talking English with the people that are with me. It was a training. It's an immersion training related to business. And I remember that in that occasion, it was so difficult to me to to maintain focus on the English. But and nowadays, I think if I have the same experience abroad, I will be better. So because I know more words in English, I have more. I don't have the I'm not worrying about to to pronunciate something wrong, or I realized that the most important things is to be is the other person understand you and not be perfect with the language, you know. And so I think if nowadays it would be better to me to handle it, because in the past I was so worried about my pronunciation and how I communicate myself and things like that. And you, Mel?
Just as Peter, I've never been abroad. I didn't have the opportunity yet, but I think I'll have it someday in the in life. But that's it. And I think it just by knowing English, I think it's a great start because here we are practicing, and even though the other country, the people from the other country doesn't speak uh, their native language is not English, they can probably communicate in English too. So it's easier for us to communicate, to get understood. The mimics helps a lot too, I think, in that cases. And I would really like to go to Switzerland too because there people talk English. No, people talk French, German, and Italian. So I think two of these three languages I study, and that would be a great place for me to stay to try to talk to people to get to know how that works. But in general, I think that's it. I think it's more the boundaries, the limits are more in our minds. It's not. It's like you said. You at that time you were younger. You didn't have so much experience as you have now, so you were more worried about that things that didn't even make sense. Now you see it, that you could have enjoyed more if you have this mentality that you have today. So I think to understand this as early as possible is a great thing to us to understand things more clearly and to enjoy more the opportunities that appears for us. That's it.
Perfect, Mel. One thing that you mentioned about Switzerland, it's so nice. When I remember that when I was there, I can I can hear people talking different languages the same place, and it was so amazing. And I don't have plans to return because it was a specific course that I did, but it was a good experience that I have. And maybe one day I have the opportunity to return, but nowadays I don't have plans. So, guys, I put on the chat the survey about this immersion. You can rate this immersion from 1 to 10. Put some comments about what about the experience to stay here with me, and put some ideas. Maybe a topic that you really like to talk about. It's important to me to know what you are talking, what you are thinking about the immersions, and bring some ideas to maintain me inspired to create the topics for you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for your time to stay with me. Pedro, Mel, you are welcome to stay with me in the next week. And have a good rest of Friday. Have a good rest of week. And bye bye. See you.
Thank you. See you.
Bye, guys. Enjoy too much.
Thank you.